Hello everyone. As I promised you, I'm going to be doing a video on my IVF journey. Like, the only reason I want to do this is I really want to be like the voice to all you girls out there that are going through what I went through. I mean, I know how you all feel. I mean, I felt the same as you guys felt, but I just want to help you. I mean, I want to be there for you. If you like need to speak to me, you can always come and speak to me. You can always DM me. You can always, I don't know, find a way to get in contact with me. But I am so open to helping to all of you. Alright, so to start off with my journey, we got married in 2015. I always wanted a baby. I mean, it was I always said to Jan, you know, when we get married, I want to have a baby straight away. And like, I mean, that was the plan. We didn't plan to go, I mean, on holidays and things like that. We just wanted to get married, have our baby and continue life that way, because we had already been going out for 8 years anyway. So like, yeah, so it took me about 2.5 years. We tried for 2.5 years. And as that mean, I went to my GP. I told them, you know, I've been trying, but it's not working. They said, you know, the NHS say that you have to be trying for 2 years for them to help you. And I was like, you know, like, I can't wait 2 years. I mean, there were like so many people out there just looking at me. I mean, I don't know if they were looking at me like that, but that's how I felt. Like, oh, when are you having a baby? I mean, I got so many questions like that. When are you having a baby? Is it not time yet? It's been 2 years or 1 year, or, you know, you've been going out for 8 years. Just have your baby. I mean, like, you get so many like stupid comments like this, like stereotypes as well. Oh my god, that was the worst one. I am overweight. I would, as some of you know, if you're following me on Instagram, I was bigger than this, what I was now. I did lose 21 kilograms, but I mean, when I went for IVF, I was bigger than this. And they were always like, oh, you need to lose weight, you won't have a baby. It's like all of these stupid things. And I was like, you know, no. Like, I said to myself, I looked out there and there was other girls. I mean, they were skinnier than me. I mean, they were so healthy, but they couldn't have a baby. They weren't being able to conceive. So I thought, you know, no, it's not my weight. Okay, the NHS say to you as well, you got to be at this weight in order for us to help you, in order for us to offer you a free IVF. I mean, that we are lucky in this country, because they do offer us a free IVF. I mean, you just have to meet some of their criteria. And then I said to my husband, you know, like, I don't want to wait for the NHS, so I started going private. And I went private to some doctor in Green Lanes, I think it was. And then he gave me some tablets, and he said, you know, he said you've got polycystic ovaries, and he said, like, it's going to be harder for you to conceive, but he said, you know, I can help you out. And then I think it took me about 5 months. Continuously went for scans, for ultrasounds, for all of that, and took so many tablets. I mean, I remember taking a tablet where it said to me, you know, the side effects of this is you can have breast cancer. But I mean, I just said, you know, so many people are taking it. I mean, so many people, like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like, I can't do anything about it. Like, my aim here, my goal here is to have a baby. And then I took them tablets, it didn't work. And then it was about I think it was September 2017, yes. I said I'm gonna go to Harley Street. I found a gynecologist there, so I went there, and she gave me tablets again. She said, I'm gonna see how your ovaries are developing. And then so I took the tablets for about a week, and then I went back for an ultrasound, and she said, look, like, she said, okay, you've got polycystic ovaries, but I can see, like, your ovaries are, like, you don't have any problems with your ovaries. So she said to me, like, to me, she goes, it's psychological. She goes, like, I heard this a lot as well. I don't know if it's true, but I can relate to it. I mean, they said every time you're, I mean, in a relationship with your husband, if you think about being pregnant, apparently the ovaries spin around and they don't accept the sperm. So I thought, so she said to me, look, it can be psychological. She said, I can help you out. She said, but it's going to take you like another year. So she said to you, look, I advise, she goes, do you know what IVF is? And I said, no, I mean, I heard about it, but I didn't know what it was. And then she said, I recommend that you do an IVF. And I thought, look, there's a way out of this. So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. So that week I booked I researched IVF in the UK, and it was really expensive. And back in my country, I'm from Turkey. I have a doctor that I visit. I mean, whenever I go to Turkey, he is an IVF doctor and he's a gynae as well. So I booked my ticket and I said, I'm going to come there for 3 days. Can you do tests and stuff on me? I want to start an IVF. And I said, this is what's happening. He said, okay. So that week I booked my ticket. I went. So he checked me up, and then I went in for a scan and an ultrasound. And he said, look, he said the same thing. You've got polycystic ovaries, but like, I don't see why you can't get pregnant. He said to me, it will be good if you lose a couple of kilos, like, before we start the actual IVF treatment. But he said, like, even if you don't worry about it. And then he prescribed me and my husband antibiotics. So he said, before we start the treatment, like, you need to be clear of infections. And then he gave me metformin, and he said, like, because my blood test results said my sugar line, my blood sugar levels were on like the just above average, that it shouldn't be that high, so it was a bit high. So he gave me metformin. He said, take these, and then vitamin D, and then it was, and folic acid. Yeah, he said folic acid is really, it's just really good, you just have to take it. And then he also gave me the pill, and he said, when you go back, you go, and he said, I'm going to be a bit open, but I have to. So he said, when you start your period on the, I think it was on the 5th day, he said, I'm going to give you a pill, and you're going to take this pill for about 7 to 10 days, I think it was. I don't really remember, but it was something between that. And then he said, your next period on the 3rd day, you have to be in Turkey. You have to come back to Turkey. And so I came back, started taking my medication, and then I hadn't booked my ticket, so everything was going to be last minute. But as soon as I start, that's it, I have to book and go. So I came back, and then so yeah, in that time, period started, and I went back. As soon as I went, I was there on the 3rd day, and then I had an ultrasound. And then he said, okay, so we're going to start on the, well, I'm going to say 1st stage because I went through 2 stages, but I mean, the stage that I went through, it's the most common stage of IVF, and I had to go through it twice because I developed something called OHSS, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that later on. And then so he gave me 3 injections. So it was an injection called Gonal F, and that was to help develop and mature the eggs. And then we had, about half an hour later, it was another injection, and that was a cetrotide, and this, it blocks the hormone that releases the egg. So we want to grow the egg but not release it, so it has to keep growing until we can get it to a point where we can meet it with the sperm and have an embryo. And then I had another HCG hormone injection. But look, keep in mind, people do this mistake so much. I've heard it, 1 minute, 2 minute. No, if the doctor says to you, do it at 9, set your alarm and do it at 9. Do not wait, please. I mean, I said to no one, look, I have to be home at that time, and I have to have those injections. I'm not risking not even a second, because I want my baby. I want that baby. I want to get it, and if this is the only way, I'm going to do it. And alongside that, I had these injections for about, usually they say 10 to 12 days. My one lasted 14 days. I mean, my eggs didn't mature up quickly. And then alongside that, I continued with vitamin D's, folic acid, B12, and metformin. So I was on full on. I mean, another thing I want to tell you guys, with these injections, usually they do it on the stomach. So I think it's about two finger bits, yeah, you get me, under the belly button. But because I'm overweight, the doctor said to me, we're going to do it on your arm. So I was scared. I mean, I said, you know, like, he might be doing it to get my money. I did think this. And then I was like, you know, that's on the belly, this is on the arm, that's close to the ovaries, it isn't going to work. And I said to myself, no, look, he's the doctor, he's been doing it for years. Of course he knows. There's so many people that done it the way you're going to do it. So we continued with that. And then, but during these 14 days, every 3 days, I would go and I would have an ultrasound done. By the way, I'm in Turkey, yeah, getting this done. So every 3 days, I would go and get an ultrasound done, and he would check the development on my ovaries, and he will send me back, and this will continue. So on the 11th day, he said, okay, in 3 days, your ovary is going to be ready. I'm booking you for a egg retrieval appointment. Okay, so on the 14th day, I went in the morning and to have my eggs retrieved. So my eggs are developed, so they're fine to be collected. But we don't know how many eggs. I mean, people get 1 egg, people get 40 eggs. It all depends on your body. And then so the operation, so they took me down. I mean, like, it was so scary. I mean, like, it's the first time I've had an operation in a, well, obviously I'm Turkish, but because I'm brought up, I mean, I've grown here, I know what goes on in this country. I don't know what goes in Turkey. So I was down in the what was that called? I forgot what it was called. The operation room, the theatre, that's it, the theatre. So I was in the theatre, and then there were like 5 male doctors around me. There were 2 female nurses, but I mean, I it's silly, but yeah, I did get scared. And then they said, you know, I had to be put asleep because it's a painful procedure. And then so I had, there you go, I'm down there, and I got put to sleep. And like, I was just praying to God that, you know, nothing happens to my ovary, like my eggs, the eggs that they're going to collect, because I read so many things. I mean, at collection point, like they can crack your eggs or they can damage them. So I was just praying. And then I woke up in a lot of pain. Like, I can't explain that pain. It was so bad. It was like you're on your period times 10. It was really bad. I mean, I couldn't walk. I was like in crunches. I kept getting gas pains. It was just really bad. I really can't forget that pain. It was a pain where I can't forget in my whole lifetime. And then and then the doctor came next to me, and he was like, you know, we've collected 7. So I had 7 eggs, 7 little babies. And he said, we're gonna oh, I forgot that the same morning that I went into egg retrieval, my husband had to give his sperm in. And then so they collected his ones as well. And then so while he came and he said 7, and then he said now it's going to take 2 to 5 days, like they're gonna, like they've already combined them up to produce an embryo. And then he said, okay, so everything started 2 to 5 days. And then I had to go home, and I was in pain for about a couple of days. I took paracetamol and things like that, but gradually I was able to get up. But I mean, my husband really helped me a lot during this stage. I mean, he used to help me out going to the toilet. I mean, I couldn't even bend down and sit in the toilet. That's how much pain I was in. Like, he used to help me sit on the toilet. I'm so grateful. And then, so day 2, I got a call. It wasn't a good call. They said 3 of my eggs, they were empty. I mean, like, useless. So I had 4 left. And I was so scared. I mean, like, the procedure alongside it was so painful. The after of it was so painful. And I was like, I don't want to go through this again. I really wish that at least one of them, like, survive and they become an embryo. But during that time, I mean, I think it was on day 4. Yeah, I went back for another ultrasound, and I developed OHSS. Okay, this is ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome. Okay, so this, it's where, because the normal day, like, the range is 10 to 12 days, and I had my 14 days, my ovaries, they went a bit too big. So, and that was causing me pain. So, and he did say to me, my doctor did say to me, look, we cannot do you transfer this month. It's going to be the following month, because if I do you transfer this month, it wouldn't work because of me developing the OHSS. That put my hopes down, but I was like, you know, there's something good in everything. And I'm someone that believes like this. I don't know why. Like, if something happens to me, I would think there's something out of this, so I need to think good. And then so day 4, they called me again, and they said 2 more didn't survive. And I think I had about 2 eggs left, sorry. I always get mixed up between ovaries and eggs, I'm sorry. And then so with the 2 eggs, it was day 5, and they called me and said, we've lost another one, but we've got one, and it's gonna be a frozen embryo, so we're gonna have to freeze it, and then you're gonna have to come back on your next period, and on day 3 of your next period, and it's gonna be another procedure of medicines again until we can actually do you transfer. And so we came back, and then a month later we went back to Turkey, and then they prescribed me again with, like, it wasn't this time, it was more like the vitamins. They just said, we need to keep you here to see how your ovaries are developing. So every 3 days, same thing. I would go for an ultrasound and all of this, and yeah. And then they had to do, oh yeah, we went back with Jan, so they had to do him another, we had to sperm collection. So they had to do another sperm collection to him, and that was done on the day of my transfer. So up to that day, I mean, we went out with Jan, we went Adana, by the way, and we were like eating, drinking, going to cinema, shopping, things like that. And then on the 2nd of February, that was the big day. I mean, I have so many videos, but I'm gonna tell you guys something. Okay, I'm overweight, but I gained a lot of weight. I mean, because of those vitamins, all those hormones in your body. I mean, I gained a lot of weight. I was the heaviest I've ever been in my whole life. I mean, I'm going to put some videos where my husband recorded me, like, giving how I feel, my views and things like that. And you would see my face. It's literally, okay, it's like this, but it was like this, yeah. And then, so we went in for transfer. I was so excited, so excited. I can't explain to you how excited I was. But scared at the same time. So before we went, 2 hours before, you just start drinking water. You're not allowed to go to the toilet. It was unbelievable. My appointment was exactly at 8:30. So we went early. I had so much water. I had lots of water. And then they dressed me up, and then we went down into the theatre. There was two of us. There was me and another lady. But that lady was in so much pain. I mean, apparently she was a case where she developed the OHSS a couple of days after collection, and that's why they couldn't do her a transfer, so she had to go back home. But meanwhile, I was in the waiting room. I mean, she was before me for the transfer. I was in the waiting room for about 45 minutes holding my toilet. It was so hard. I cannot explain to you how hard it was. I'm usually a person that holds my toilet, but this was hard. And then he came in, my doctor, Turan Chetin. You are amazing. He came in, I'm getting so, I just got emotional, I'm really sorry. He came in and goes, come on, the baby's coming. And then I went in, I laid down. It was like, you have to relax. You need to go to the toilet, but you have to relax. You have to be so relaxed. It was just, there was a screen next to me, just a tiny screen, a little one. And he said, you're going to see the embryo coming. And then I just laid there. And then it was just like, it was so weird. It was like a doctor was in the lab, and Dr. Turan Chetin was next to me. And then it was just like, okay, we're ready, bring it in. And they have to put it in there within, I think it was within 20 seconds. He came in, it went in, and then I looked on the screen. And I don't know, I would never forget that moment. I swear to God, like, when I saw it, you know where you're in a tunnel and it's all like dark? I swear to God, my alley was the light. I swear to you, it was like just like a little star. You know when you look up at the night, it's all pitch black and you see that little star. That was him. And it was just so emotional. Like, I can't explain to you. I know I've gone really ugly, but I just can't explain to you. And then it was just amazing, and I just looked at him and I was like, you're here, I know you're here, and I know you're not going to leave me. And then after like the transfer was done, they cleaned me up and everything, and then Turan Chetin came to me. He put his hand on my hand and he said it was a very successful transfer, and he goes, I know you're going to be one of the best mums out there. And he said 12 days later, I just want to hear good news from you, because he goes, like, he said, like, to me, like, you're an amazing person. He goes, I know you're going to be an amazing mother. He said, you deserve it. He looked at me, I looked at him, and I just cried. It was just, I don't know, it was just amazing. And I said, please send me a photo of my baby. And I'm going to show it here right now. I mean, a little thing I saw, but look, yeah, all of you guys that can conceive naturally, you can't see your baby when it's that little embryo, but I got the chance to see it. So yeah, it was that small. I got to see him before he was even in my belly. There you go. So we're advantaged in that way. And then yes, so yeah, back to bed. I still need to go toilet, by the way. Back to bed, you have to hold your toilet for another half an hour. I was like, it's like Jan saw me, we looked at each other, we both had teary eyes. I was like, Jan, he's in me, he's here. Obviously I didn't say he, but I said, it's here, it's in me, I am now pregnant. I always said to myself, I'm pregnant, because I didn't want to say what if. I just didn't want to put myself into that position. Like, I always wanted to believe, like, Ali's there. I mean, I say Ali because I've always said, if I have a son, I'm going to call him Ali. So, yeah, I always said, like, yeah, he's there. I mean, like, yeah, I'm going to continue and then I'll come to that point. And then the first thing I would, you know, cravings and stuff. I don't know why. I laid down, like, you're not, oh yeah, I need to tell you this, you're not allowed to move whatsoever. So while you're on that bed and they've done you transfer, like, so many doctors, I'm heavy, so I had about 7-8 doctors transferring me onto another bed. So they held me, but they have to be, you're not allowed to move. So they put all the pressure on you. So they moved me to the other bed. You've got to lie flat down for about half an hour until they say you can go toilet. And you're not allowed to lift your head. I don't know why this was, but they said, like, you lifting your head affects your ovaries. So they said no lifting your head, do not lift it up. So I listened to everything, honestly, every single step I listened to. And then I came down, I lay down for about 45 minutes, but during that 45 minutes I was like, Jan, it's like I've ate raspberries. I can proper feel raspberries in my mouth. And you know, Ali loves raspberries. I don't know why, but he loves raspberries. And then it was all done, and then the nurse came in. She was like, you can go toilet. I was like, no, can I hold it for 15 more minutes? Jan was like to me, why, you need to go toilet? I was like, no, just in case, like, maybe I missed out the 5 minutes or something like that. Maybe they missed it out. So I held my toilet for another 15 minutes, and then you go toilet and they're like, slowly. So you're not allowed to let it out all at once. So it has to be slowly. I was like, oh my God, this is so hard. But by the way, I'm like so careful. I'm like, I'm not doing anything fast or gradually. I mean, my husband's holding my hands while I'm sitting on the toilet, so I'm trying to not put no pressure whatsoever. So it's like that bit there is like the lightest bit in my body. So we went home, and I asked my doctor, I said, look, I want to go back to London because, I mean, yeah, I love my husband, but he can't cook. Yeah, so for 3 days, I'm going to tell you what I ate and what I didn't eat. So the doctor said to me, so we're not allowed to have greenery, fresh greenery. So I wasn't allowed to have, so I didn't have parsley, fresh mint, broccoli. I mean, I didn't have any, whatever's green, I didn't eat it. Like, he just said to me, like, they have this, like, term in Turkish where it's like, don't eat the green stuff. So I didn't eat anything that was green, to be honest. No chocolate, no coffee, no tea, no fizzy drinks. They have this thing, I haven't heard of it, but where people that have just had transfer have McDonald's fries. I don't know why, but no, I didn't have McDonald's fries. I had so I'm gonna tell you, I had brown pasta and I would put yogurt on it. In the morning I would have cornflakes, like it would be the fiber, for high in fiber ones. I would have cornflakes in the morning, and then at lunch I would have, like, Jan would do me a sandwich, and then in the evening he would, like, boil some pasta and put some yogurt on it and stuff. And I had pineapples as well. I heard that pineapples helps with the embryo, like, attaching onto your womb, so I did have pineapples. And then, yeah, we booked our ticket on the 3rd day. We had to book business class. Yeah, because, like, it was the most comfortable. I couldn't squash up because I was so scared that anything would happen to him. So, and then because it's like, sorry, I just stretched my leg out, but yeah, because it's like so it's like from Adana to Istanbul and Istanbul to London. So I told them, you know, I'm not able to walk, I need a wheelchair. So they picked me up. We went with the taxi to the airport. They came, they picked me up with the wheelchair. I mean, they were so helpful. I thank every single person that helped me on this journey, that made my life easier. So they helped me with the wheelchair into the aeroplane. Same on the way back, so I was relaxed in the aeroplane. Because it's like business class, your seatings are more comfortable. So I was fine. And thank God it was the ones that went flat down. like into a bed. So I just lay down throughout the journey. I didn't have anything on the aeroplane because I don't know what's in it. So like Jan bought me some biscuits and stuff to eat, and then like I did pack some sandwiches and things like that to eat on the way, like so I know what's in it. And then I came to London and we had about 10 days to wait for the results, and in those 10 days, thank you mummy, she cooked for me. Teary again because you're a mum, it's mum life, you know, emotional times. And she cooked for me, she helped me out, and I stayed at my mum's house anyway. And then oh yes, I forgot this one. So after my transfer, I was prescribed quinone gel that I would use for 10 weeks. And this gel, you would use it, and they say it's a progesterone, and it prevents miscarriages, like it thickens the lining, so it prevents the miscarriage. And then I had Coraspin for 38 weeks until I gave birth to Ali, which was at 37 weeks and 5 days, I think. And this is aspirin. It thins the blood, and I don't know how it helps, but yeah, it helps. And then I had a Prognex injection. So this injection, my husband hates injections, but my husband every evening done this injection to me. And these are timings as well. So every day, as soon as the alarm clock goes off, injection would be in. Half an hour later, the quinone gel will be used. And then, like, I mean, with the others, I would set a time and I would take them at the right time. I don't know, I believe this, like, I mean, some people say, like, the doctor's prescribed you medicine 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, evening, but no, it's not like that. It's 24 hours, divide by 3, every 8 hours you take that. I mean, that's how I did it. So my alarm would go off for 9 months of my pregnancy, and I would take my medications. The quinone gel I used for 10 weeks, and then I said the Coraspin. The Prognex injection was until I found out I was pregnant or not. So I stopped it on the 12th day, and my husband, I just said it before, I think my husband done my injections, and I don't know, the first 2 days he was fine, and then after that he hurt me like hell. Trust me, the injections at the start of the treatment were not as bad. I don't know if he done it on purpose, but yeah, and that would go in my bottom. My bottom was purple, so it was all bruised, yeah. Okay, so I continued with all of this. So and with the quinone gel, I mean, you would use it, and it's like a little thing, bullet thing, yeah, and it's used down below. So you would use that, and then you need to walk for half an hour. And to tell you, to be honest with you guys, I'd done it, and I would go into the garden, walk very slowly for half an hour, and then I would come back in every day for 12 days. But that continued for 10 weeks because I got pregnant. And then so on day 12, so my sister said to me, you know, and yeah, she said to me, like, I saw a dream, and like in my dream I was telling you that you was pregnant, and she was like, please, like, can I tell you if you're pregnant or not? And I was like, and then I said yeah, because I don't know, I'm someone that believes in things like this. I don't know why, I think it's just the heart, yeah. And then I said, all right, go on. So in the morning I went for a blood test, and I was like, and I went to the doctor that helped me try and get pregnant, and I said, you know, I went for IVF and I've come for a blood test now, I don't know if I'm pregnant or not. And then I had my blood test, I came home, my sister's working, and I'm just waiting there for her to call me. It was Valentine's Day, by the way. And then I kept texting her, like, said, please tell me this, that, and she was like, look, it hasn't come yet. But I don't know, I just had a feeling it did come. Like, she received it over email. I was like, I mean, come. And then we were just sitting in the evening. She's like, oh, I'm gonna come out late, my shift's gone longer, and this, that. And I was like, okay. And then I'm just waiting, and all of a sudden, she because she's connected to the house Wi-Fi, the TV, YouTube came on, and as soon as it said on there, like, my sister's pregnancy reveal, I just started crying. And I don't know, like, I didn't even need to watch it. Like, I already knew he was there, and it was such an amazing video. Like, she was just explaining that she found out I'm pregnant and what the numbers were, what the blood test numbers were. Like, I can't explain to you, like, everyone was jumping in the house, and but you're so happy, but you can't even get up and jump because you're still scared. And then like me and Jan, we were just crying. Like, obviously, I mean, I always dreamed that, you know, to do a pregnancy surprise to my husband, myself. I mean, it was all like, but not everything happens the way you want it to happen. Maybe this was the best way for us. Like, I've always, like, you know, when you say, I'm not jealous of anyone, but you know, when you look up to something, you're like, oh my god, I wish I could have done that as well. But with Jan, like, all our journeys have been so unique. Like, it's always been different from other people. So I thought, you know, was how we were going to get happy. So this is what we went through. And I found out I'm pregnant, and she showed me the results. So my blood test levels, the hormone, pregnancy hormone, don't know what it's called at the moment, I think it's HCG, so it was high. And then, but I'm still expecting twins, by the way. But to be honest, oh yeah, I need to tell you something. If you're under 30, they only do you 1 transfer. If you're over 30, they do you 2 or 3 or whatever. Because of your age, they're like, you know, we'll do you. But I only had 1 egg, so it was obviously going to be 1 transfer. But to people that have more, under 30, I don't know if that's the same rule in the UK, but in Turkey, under 30, it's 1 transfer. Over 30, you can have more than 1. I think it's the age, because you're young, you still got a chance and things like that. And yeah, so I called my doctor up, and I was like, you were right. I was like, everything worked out well, I'm pregnant. And then he said, 2 days later, I want you to go back and do another blood test. He goes, he goes, I don't want to upset you. He goes, okay, your HCG levels are high, but it could be because of the hormones we've given you. He goes, by the looks of it, you are pregnant. But he said 2 days later, I just want to see if it's continuing to go up high or if it's still stable. And I was praying for 2 days. I'm like, oh God, please, please, please, please, please, please, nothing happened to him. Please let him survive. And 2 days later, I done the test, and the results came back high, and I was like, yes, I am pregnant. I was like, it worked out. I believed in him. And I mean, during that, like, the 10 days where I was in London, my husband, my sister, and my mum, they like said to me, I know they were doing it so like, so my hopes, so they didn't want to put my hopes really high just in case it doesn't work. And then they were like, you know, look, don't make yourself believe that you were pregnant. Like, you don't know, you might get more upset if you're not. And I was like, no, I'm gonna believe in it because I fighted for it. I mean, I went through all this for it. I mean, and like, I was like, no, I'm pregnant. I know I'm pregnant. I said, I know he's there. And then yeah, and then I was pregnant. And then, I mean, throughout that 10 days, I want to say something. I read so many things. Some people go back to work. I don't know, like, obviously people that go back to work do end up pregnant as well. But I was just so scared. I laid down for 10 days. I didn't pick up anything heavy. Every time I went toilet, my husband helped me, my mum helped me, my sisters helped me. I never laid down on my stomach. I was always flat. When I got up, I was always holding my stomach. I was wearing loose clothes. And you can't have a bath. Oh yes, you cannot have a bath. I think it was for about 5 days. And hot baths, no. Always warm. Because apparently it can release that egg, and it stops it from attaching onto your womb. Okay, so that's my journey. Some people asking me about the cost of my IVF treatment. So I researched in the UK, it costs about £5,000 to £6,000 depending on where you go. And I researched in Turkey, and in total, I mean, we went twice. On the first time, my mother-in-law came with us as well, and we stayed at a house. We booked a house, we stayed there, and our return tickets were business class. So we stayed there in total, I think it was about 6 weeks, and it cost me 13,000 Turkish liras. Now, when you convert that today to pounds, it's about £2,000. Nowhere near what it's like in London. I mean, obviously I I don't know, like, it was the adventure as well. I would have wanted got it done here as well, but I love Adana, so I know I wanted John to see, you know, Adana's my hometown, so I wanted him to see around there as well, and he loved it. We loved it together. And so the most expensive part of the treatment is the egg retrieval. We paid 6,500 Turkish liras for this. I don't know how much that is. It's about 800, 900 pounds, I think. And then it was 1,000 Turkish liras for the transfer. The medication was really expensive as well. I mean, like, every time we went, we paid about 800 Turkish liras. So that came to about 3,000 Turkish liras. Accommodation, it was a friend that we knew did advise us to go and stay there. It was very clean. It was just a house, like an apartment, and it was in there. And we paid, I think it was about 1,500 Turkish liras for our whole stay. It wasn't a lot. So in total I spent about 13,000 Turkish liras. So I would say a maximum of 3,000 pounds, including like the money I spent there and things like that. So I think it's quite good. I mean, I don't think it's that expensive, like, obviously, and like, some people cannot afford it. I understand them, and I want to say, I am saying this from my heart, if you cannot afford it, I am so happy to help you out, because I know what you went through, I know what you're going through, and I will do everything. I'll do everything to help you out. I promise to you I will. Like, if you're helpless, like, if you really do, if I know that it's actually for IVF, and I don't want no people coming and, you know, saying, oh, I need money, no. If I'm prepared to help you, I mean, Turan Çetin is my doctor. I will advise you to go there. I don't get anything out of it, but you can go anywhere. I'm just prepared to help you along this journey. I want to go into the psychological bit of this journey. I mean, like, not being able to have a baby, it's hard. You don't feel complete. You feel like you're a failure, but no, you shouldn't. You're not. I mean, there's ways out of it. I mean, like, you just gotta think of it this way, like, okay, you're not able to do something, but it doesn't mean you're not gonna go and fight for it. I mean, you should all fight for it, and don't be ashamed of yourself. I mean, your husband, think of it this way. If your husband was going through this, what was you going to look at him like a failure? No. So trust me, he's not looking at you like a failure, because I felt like this. I was like, you know, I mean, when I'm like, from my culture 30 years ago, men were marrying another woman because their wives couldn't get pregnant, and that was back in Turkey. Now I don't understand it. It's wrong, but like, that mentality is just like, you can't be a woman if you can't have a baby. No, you can. You can. There's always fostering. Me and my husband thought about fostering so many times. But I said, you know, I don't want to go into fostering before I even try, before I even fight for it. And please, do not expect anybody to understand you. Don't. You understand yourself first. You say to yourself, I don't care what people think about me. This is me. This is my life. Don't, like, I didn't, look, I done the same mistake as the majority of you. I sat down, I cried. Every month I done pregnancy tests. I would do tests to predict if you're pregnant or not 7 days before your due period. That is bad. I mean, psychologically, that is not good. And I would cry every time it came back negative. I mean, it's like the worst thing you can go through for a woman. But don't if it's negative, get back up. Get back up. Find a way out of it. Don't be scared. I've had so many people say to me, we're scared. Look, I didn't know what I was going to go through. I'm telling you guys, you're going to go through these stages. Okay, it's hard. It's painful. But trust me, every time I look my Ali in the eye, I would go through the same journey 10 times, 100 times. Because in the end, it's worth it. It's really worth it. There's going to be so many stupid people saying to you, oh, me example, you're fat, you can't have a baby. Oh, please, man. What's my Ali now? There's so many people out there who are overweight and are able to conceive naturally. You can't stereotype someone like that. You can't put someone into that position. I mean, I don't know how it is in other cultures. Like, I know in the English culture, it's not seen like that. To be honest, like, in my culture, in Turkish culture, it's like, you're not even seen as a woman if you can't have a baby. They look at you like, oh, you know, you can't have a baby. There were so many girls, like, texting me, telling me, oh, do this to lose weight, do that to lose weight, do this to lose weight, it will help you have a baby. I just don't get it. Like, what, don't you ever think like, okay, I'm saying this to this person, but how is this person gonna feel? I know how you all feel. I went through it. I know some of you have been trying for more than I did, but I mean, it doesn't matter. Look, when I was on that journey, I met this English girl, and she was on the same journey as me, and our transfer days were on the same day. She was so much more healthier than me, and she was like slimmer than me. Her first trial didn't work out. It just didn't happen. And I mean, she texted me on Valentine's Day. She said my one came out negative, and I said mine's at the moment it's positive, but I said, please, I beg you, don't put your hopes down, please. I said, look, she had so many eggs. Like, they froze so many eggs for her. I was like, look, you got so many more. Like, it's the following month, try again. And like, I spoke to her throughout the journey. I'm so happy. I mean, I've never seen her in my life. We met on Instagram, but we constantly speak, and I'm so happy that, like, we're on this road together. And I hear it a lot nowadays. There's so many girls that can't conceive, and they're just traumatizing themselves over stupid people's comments. Don't, please don't. This is your life. This is your fight. Just don't, please don't put yourself, like, I want to help. I want to do the best I can. I mean, my journey, obviously everyone's going to be different. Maybe when you come out of egg retrieval, you're not going to have pain. I had a lot of pain because my treatment went on for 14 days, not 12 days. Like, please, believe in your journey, believe in yourself. Please just do it. I mean, like, no. And look, I want to say this. If you want to keep everything private, if you want to speak to me, you can add me on Instagram. It's Eda Ali KN_X, and you can DM me. And I promise to you, I would not reveal your name. I would not say to people, oh, I'm helping this person, oh, I'm helping that person. No. I would keep everything private between me and you. I mean, I've had like so many people that I helped. I mean, I was next to. I have so many relatives that are going through what I went through, and I'm doing the best I can to keep them up, because it's not easy. And like, hearing stupid things, oh god, that's even worse. Please, I just want you to, like, I'm going to say this in Turkish as well, I'm sorry guys. Lütfen, rica ediyorum. İnsanlar evlenince hemen çocuk yapmak zorunda değiller. Ha, yaparlar, yapmazlar, kimseyi ilgilendirmez. Yani size kalmamış insanlara dönüp ne zaman çocuk yapacağını sormak. Kalmamış. Lütfen sormayın. Fikirlerinizi kendinize saklayın. Hiç kimseyi kötü veya küçük düşürmeye hakkınız yok. Yapmayın bunu. Çünkü insanlara nasıl bir etki bıraktığınızı bilmiyorsunuz. Yani o insan ne durumda bilmiyorsunuz. Yardımcı olmak istiyorsanız olun. Ama o insanı işte küçümseyerek, yok kilo vermen gerek diyerek öyle yapamazsınız. Böyle bir dünya yok. Bu insandan büyük de olabilirsiniz. 60-70 yaşında da olabilirsiniz. Kesinlikle bunu yapmaya hakkınız yok. İnsan olarak yok. Yani hiç kimseyi yargılamayın. Hiç kimseye sormayın ya. Kimseyi ilgilendirmiyor. Ne zaman çocuk yapacaksınız diye. Sormayın. Bırakın kendi hallerine. Kafaları rahat olsun ki onlar da o çocuğu mutlulukla yapabilsin. Psikolojileri bozulmadan yapabilsinler. Lütfen. Back to English. I've reminded my Turkish culture, but yeah, it's bad. It's sad. You shouldn't do things like that. It's sad. I'm against it. And okay, so I am open to help all of you. Please help me. I mean, I've done this video. I don't know how I look in this video. I don't really care. Yeah, I don't. I really don't. But I want to help you guys out. I want to be your voices. I want to look, there's nothing wrong with not being able to conceive. I say this again, this is your life, no one else's. No one feels what you feel. No one wakes up in the morning and says, oh, I wonder if Eda is pregnant. No, you wake up and say, oh, mum is in peace. So don't give a fuck about what people say. Please don't. Just live your life. Do what is needed to be done. Don't get scared, please. I'm here for you. Don't get scared. Look, think of it this way. When I went into this journey, no one around me, I didn't know anyone that was in this journey, like that had been through this journey. I was okay, I had my family supporting me, my husband supporting me, but I was alone. I didn't know what I was going to go through, so I would just go into the doctor. They would say, you're going to use this. I would go home and use it. I mean, I just want to like I want you guys to know that it's hard, but it's possible. I mean, look, everyone said to me, oh look, don't get upset if it doesn't happen on the first round. How can you say this to someone? You can't. And I'm thanking God every day that it happened on the first round, because I felt like I already had gone through enough. Like, and with Ali, I just want to say this. I just want you guys to know how I feel. With Ali, I mean, there's 7 eggs, 7 embryos, and they all, like, something happens to all of them, and only my Ali, and then he still can't get into me. I still can't get him. And then they freeze him for a month. He waits for me there. I don't know this how I believe it. He waits for me there. I go back and, like, I feel like he was meant to be. Like, we were meant to be. I don't know, like, when I talk about it, I don't know, I know I don't do well. I mean, I always keep my husband out of it, but it's only because I feel like, okay, he was there for us. Thank you. I thank him so much. But I just feel like this was our journey. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and I would just like to wrap this up. If you listen to me, thank you. If I can help you, I want to help you. If you want to get through to me, do everything to get through to me, and I will help you. Please, and please don't shut up to stupid comments. Please don't put them in their place. It's nothing to do with them. Please, I didn't do this. I done this mistake. I'm just gonna tell you one thing that really got on my nerves. A lady said to my mum once, oh, you can't come to my grandson's birthday. Mum was like, why? Because you don't have any grandchildren or small children. And I was like, I heard that and I was like, Mum, I will get into this fight for you as well. Because I saw her face and it went down, because she's putting her daughter down. Not my mum down, she's putting her daughter down. But thank God for this day. Thank God. And I'm happy. And I want all of you to be happy. I want all of you, like, if you can, like, if it is in your life, I want all of you to feel that baby in your arms, in you. It's just the best feeling ever. It's like the most magical, unique experience ever. And yeah, so this was my journey to get to Ali. And yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for sparing some time for me, and I would love to spare some time for anybody who wants help. Also, if you have any questions that you want to ask me, if I haven't been clear on any bit of my journey, please get in contact with me. If I do have a lot of questions, about, I'll say minimum of 10 questions, I would want to do another video, a question and answer, where I answer your questions, because I want to make everything clear. I want you guys to go on that line. Just go in there, do it. Don't ever be embarrassed. Don't ever. This is your fight, no one else's. And I'm there for you. I promise you. I promise you, I am there for you. And I just pray to God. I just pray to God, you guys all have that baby dust on you. You can all conceive naturally. I just pray. I know it's hard, but I'm praying all of you to conceive naturally. If not, I'm there for your journey. I am there. So yes, thank you again. Bye bye.